Well, and Freeland. Well, it's considerably quieter tonight.
N1 SAG listening.
SAG in there, good evening.
What's going on down there, Marsh?
Oh, we're just seeing which antenna works best at the moment.
Well, you're coming in here loud and clear.
Yeah, there's no lightning crashes tonight.
Yeah, and I haven't heard any yet, to be honest with you. A couple little static things going on, but no lightning, I don't think.
Well, we'll probably get some in a little bit here as the band lengthens out, but we got about a half hour before that comes around.
Yeah, it's not even 8 yet, huh? Yeah, you're right.
No 10-meter activity tonight.
Oh, darn.
You'll notice that the 10-meter stuff seems to happen when the worst thunderstorms and the cold fronts and all of the lightning activities out in the Midwest and or sometimes on the East Coast. When it charges up the lower E level with the upper charges coming out of the thunderstorms, the sprites and the jets going up into the upper atmosphere, that's when you get that E layer charged up and you start getting that 10-meter DX. So anytime you see that thunderstorm line form up, like with that tornadic event out in the Midwest or that big cold front that moves across the country, turn your beam or put your dipole on 10 meters and take a listen because it'll open right up every time.
Well, I gotta make Ray happy. Because if 10's open, 11's open, he'll be busy down there.
Oh, well, when 10's open, 11 meters is so stupid you can't even use it because it's just, you can't hear anybody because they're all on top of each other.
That's all that cosmic radiation that busts through the Kuiper belt.
What does that have to do with propagation on HF?
Nothing. It affects the radio operators.
I've always figured it was the Oort cloud.
Right. See, Russ knows.
That's a little bit out there. That's days away at light speed. That's days away. That is really out there.
I thought that Oort cloud, they don't even know if that exists. That's just like a guess, right?
No, it's out there. Oh, it's definitely out there. Millions of bodies of frozen icy worlds. Quite a few of them are bigger than Pluto. They're thinking that thousands of them are at least that size, and there's probably millions, if not billions, of other icy chunks of the leftover from when things got formed up and they got moved out to that outer icy edge. But they just didn't know it was there because they didn't have the technology, they didn't have the telescopes, they didn't have the infrastructure to be able to see out that far. But now that they do, and technology is starting to get more and more better, they're starting to see some of those bodies, they're starting to track some of that stuff. And also, you can prove it gravitationally by the way it pulls on the Neptune and Uranus.
I knew I'd get a technical response from you, Mark. And you as well, Russ. Very good. And when is AG?
Yep. So there's lots of ice out there, and they believe that's also where the comets come from. Every now and then something will, they believe actually that our closest neighbor star, there seems to be a drifting star that may possibly be in a shallow orbit with our star, a binary of some kind. When it gets a little too close to to our system and to the Oort cloud, it perturbs gravitationally some of those bodies out there and throws them off their circular orbit. And they get tossed down inside towards our star, which obviously leads to comets and, world-ending events.
Mm-hmm. I hope we're not headed for extinction again.
About once every 10 million years or so, the Earth needs a good cleaning. Let's just hope that by the time that comes, we're smart enough to get out of the way.
Well, how are you going to move a planet?
You don't move a planet. You just get out of the way and you let it impact the planet, let it do its thing, and when things calm down, you come back.
Oh my God, you mean I got to build another air raid shelter?
World-ending events usually you can't really get away from. Even if you go down a mile into the crust, you're still not far enough away.
Like a little ground mole.
Yeah, world-ending events kind of raise the atmospheric temperature to about 1,500 degrees.
Yeah, Dave, your probability of survival is pretty low unless you're like a mollusk or a clam living underneath a rock shelf like 1,000 feet down in the ocean, and then maybe it's like a 50-50 proposition.
Right, yeah. If the ocean's deep enough and the water doesn't all boil away.
Well, typically you're the big hits that get taken with these mass extinction events. Yeah, things bounce into the atmosphere from time to time. It's a gamma ray burst that nobody can get away from.
Oh, yeah, those are the good ones there. They just cook you like a big microwave oven.
Oh, we don't need any of that.
When our Creator just finally gets done and gets a little tired with the stupidity that's going on, he'll just, hey, Michael, come over here a minute. Bring Gabe with you. We've got a plan. See that big rock there? I want you guys to spin it in there and no, shave a little off. It's a little too big. Yeah, that's the right size. Yeah, toss it in there and let's start this over.
I always think of that, and I thought before the big guy does us in, I think we're going to do ourselves in, no?
Nah, yeah, our Creator, and I happen to be a God-fearing man, as you may or may not know, but I'm a believer. Doesn't mean that I don't believe in science, and I don't believe that the world and all of the universe was created in 7 literal days. So let's just get that out of the way before anybody thinks I'm an idiot. I think the plan was that he made the planet for us to be inhabited on, and we were kind of the crown jewel of his accomplishments. I kind of don't think he's going to let us burn ourselves out from our own stupidity or anyone else's stupidity for that fact, considering that he's already made the comment that the Earth is going to endure forever. So he will most likely intercede before we get to the point of that level.
I mean, he's going to come down and slap mankind around to smarten us up?
Well, the whole Jesus thing was a start. The whole Noah's flood thing, things were pretty bad. He kind of didn't really want to do that, but we sort of left him no option. So, things like that. But he always leaves a way out for those that are, for those that are believers. Believer's not really the right word. For those that are faithful, for those that are, want to do things the right way. He always leaves a way out for that particular group of individuals. But the mankind, for some strange reason, just seems to be hell-bent on destroying themselves.
Yeah, he's sure one or the other, Hey, you fire, you're going to get fired back on, Speaking of firing, we were out this morning, Russ. We shot the big rifles up until noontime. From about 11 o'clock. We only had about a 1 hour, I think, a couple hours anyway. And we had a good time with that.
That's good. I didn't do that much today. I took it easy. A little bit of yard work. Had relatives come over to visit. I snuck a nap in too. That felt pretty good.
Yeah, no, I didn't get a nap in. I worked around the yard and spent some time. I did a lot of relaxing, but I wasn't lucky to get a nap in. Over.
I got in the pool today.
How was the water?
It was actually very nice. It was just like maybe 1 or 2 degrees cooler than I would have really liked it, but it was just fine.
Yeah, that's something I miss. I miss the pool, but I don't miss the maintenance and the costs and all that. It was, and it gives me more time on other things around the house now, too. Plus relaxation,
Yeah, it's not a big thing. It's not in-ground or anything serious. It's just a above-ground 16-footer. And the maintenance cost on it is minimal. It requires a little bit of effort, but, it's just kind of nice. When you got those 96-degree days with the humidity that's way up there, and, air conditioning's okay, but you really want to get in the pool.
Oh, yeah, any pool's better than no pool. I don't care. Even I went by a dollar store or something the other day, and out in front they had those little kiddie tubs there. I was thinking on getting one of those. Before we had a pool, we had one of those. We'd fill it full of water, go out and splash around in it, just to have fun, cool off.
Hey, I'll be back in a couple. I got the dog here, Crowbar, nosing me. He needs to go out.
Okay, Russ. Check you later.
Now, if only we could teach our pets to speak.
Well, they know how to communicate. There's no question about dogs, especially, right?
If we were just as lucky with our wives.
Well, my wife certainly knows how to communicate with me. She gives me an order, and if I don't obey it, I get sent to the brig.
Isn't that supposed to be like the other way around?
Yeah, well, you would think so, but in this day and age, we were shooting today, and after the shoot, they were going to have a barbecue, and I said, I'm sorry, man, I can't stay for the barbecue. I promised the wife I'd be, spend some time with her this afternoon. And, I got the pussy whip and all that,
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I'd be at the barbecue, and the wife would be the one doing the work at the barbecue while me and my buddies are having fun.
Yeah, well, this guy's wife was doing, as a matter of fact, she was doing the cooking.
That's right. That's the way it should be.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I get criticism from the guys I hang around with all the time for that. Well, from the married guys. From the guys that aren't married, they generally don't offer that much criticism about those sort of things. Well,
see, I've got I've got the best of all worlds. I've been married twice, so I know what it's like, and I'm not married now. Well, yeah, I'm not married now, so I can enjoy being single and looking at the married guys and pitying them.
Yeah, no, after 2 times, that's that's like, what do you tell a girl with 2 black eyes? Nothing. You already told her twice.
Yeah, well, we don't need to go like all that serious with it. But
married to that pool maintenance,
so. There ain't nothing in the world worth it. That hole ain't worth nothing in the world like that. Trust me.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, somebody else came in going.
I said he's married to the pool maintenance.
Yeah, well, if you do it right, I mean, I did it when and you're married to all your home maintenance, pools, and everything like that. Mowing the lawn, flower beds. I even have to pick up the neighbor's dog poop on my front lawn. The neighbors all send their dogs over to my yard, and I don't even have a goddamn dog.
Too funny. Well, it was the happiest day in my life when we got the pool, and it was the second happiest day when we got rid of the pool 17 years later.
Oh, my.
Yeah, well, I had my pool a lot longer than that, and I was kind of sad. I did the demo on the pool myself, and it was kind of a little heartbreaking for me because I did love the pool,
Yeah, I put mine up. Mine was a 24-round above-ground pool, and I built the deck around it and hand dug it into the ground, so it didn't look like it was an above-ground pool on 2 of the sides. And once that bottom ring, that retaining ring, once that started to show wear and tear, there was a big hemorrhage at the bottom of the pool, and it was time for it to go.
Yeah, well, that's part of the life expectancy or maintenance, yeah. Well, there's nothing you can do about that, man. Well, pools are nice. I like pools. I like to jump in. You know, it was fun to have, but now we go on vacation. The hotels all have pools. They do the maintenance. All we do is just swimming around, you know.
Oh, but see, now you're swimming in other people's sea. You're not just swimming on your own.
Right. Yeah, right.
But I'm with you on that one. Anyway, just sliding by N1QWN saying hello.
Okay, QWN got a good signal. N1SAG here with Marcus Caparatius.
Don't let Ray hear that audio.
No, that's okay. He can live with it, or he can tune me down.
No, we don't tune anybody down. I'm not like Ray.
I mean, after all, I have to listen to Ray's audio.
What's wrong with Ray's audio? It's the world's best audio there ever was.
Yeah, if you like that Channel 19 mentality.
Yeah, but see, you got to have the radio that's got the 4K spread.
Yeah, Joe. Well, we got that, but I'm just on the MP. I'm in the office. No, Ray's fine. It's just processing. I can live without the processor. Anyways. The Diesel Brothers are about ready to do that monster jump in 2 minutes. I think I'm going to check it out. So I'll be back for what it's worth. N1QWN.
Over the airplane?
Yeah.
Wait, maybe I'll click a channel here.
What am I missing?
These wackos got these hot rod diesel trucks, and they're going to jump it over an airplane. It looked like a double winger. I think it's on Discovery.
It is. You're right. 2 minutes.
Roger, thanks for that.
73.
73's there. Where are you from anyway?
I'm on the Cape. I'm Barnstable Village.
Oh, out there, Cape Cod. Okay, yeah. I hope you had a nice day. It was beautiful inland. I'm over here just a little west of Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah, you got a big signal, 20 over, and yeah, we spoke before. I'm not up here all the time, but you know, it was a beautiful day, Memorial Day. It's a day to remember all our fallen soldiers and the ones that are still with us.
Roger, yeah, Roger that. All righty then, 73s and happy Memorial Day.
73s, N1QWN, 1 minute and counting.
Sure hope they don't pop a tire. Isn't this something like Evel Knievel did?
Yeah. He was here. They're ramping up right now. They're getting ready to. I guess so. Yeah. I don't see the airplane now.
No, I think they're just they're building up courage. So I guess if they fail, things are going to be kind of ugly.
Yeah, there they go. They're airborne. I don't see no airplanes. Maybe it's a practice run.
That's a practice run. Are we done tuning now?
I don't know what that was. It was up and down the band. Cosmic radiation, maybe.
No, that wasn't cosmic radiation.
We'll see how much I know, huh?
That was somebody just barely inside the audio pass band tuning up their amplifier or antenna. That's what that was.
There we go. Now we're on the, looks like the firing range.
Anything can happen.
So this airplane's going to come inbound in motion underneath that ramp, I guess, huh?
Oh, I can't watch. They might ruin a truck. Oh, no.
Oh, there's the airplane. That's a nice little airplane.
Well, It was a nice little airplane.
Oh, I hope they don't. This could be dangerous.
Yeah, so, well, somebody could die, but I kind of doubt that's going to happen.
Remember when Evel Knievel did the Snake River Canyon?
Dude, that was before I was born.
Come on.
When was that?
In the late, actually early to mid-'80s, maybe mid-'80s.
Yeah, I was, let me see, I was probably like 10 years old.
Oh, all right. I grew up with Evel Knievel. I used to ride like him. Not anymore. I don't know how he could ride like that. He was nuts. I didn't do those kind of jumps. I did enough. I broke an ankle doing a jump. Not an ankle, my heel. On a snowmobile, believe it or not. So all that jumping is hurtful. Now, that man's broken almost every bone in his body.
Hello.
My tune here. Between those two signals.
Well, the 11 meters must have collapsed.
No, I'm waiting for my amp to come on.
That was funny, Dave.
Randy, do you have your amp on?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, well, that would be some of the difference then.
Why would I don't understand the question.
That would be all of the difference. I'm sure our signals are identical.
Well, I'm just thinking that we have rules published, and they've been published for some time now, and why would I come in and break my own rules? That would be just foolish.
Just say thank you.
For what?
Hey, Bob? Hello, is Bob in here?
What's his handle?
2D.
Not the tank loader.
Well, oh boy, that's just going to work out really good. I could have swore I just heard him. Was that him?
No, another guy from Cape Cod was in.
Okay. Did you check that wheat that I told you was bad, Randy?
Oh, no, I haven't done anything at all, Ray.
Okay, just don't want you to eat the wrong wheat and croak.
It doesn't kill you right away, Ray. It takes time.
No, this is bad wheat. It's got salmonella in it.
Oh, lovely. So it's bad wheat that's worse.
You mean to tell me Roundup won't kill salmonella?
No.
Well, we got to get some better Roundup made up. We got to get a hold of that Bayer company and have them make up some Roundup that'll wipe out salmonella.
Yeah, they got.
Why would salmonella even grow on wheat? I mean, they would have to have that wheat processed by some machinery or something that had come in contact with meat or chicken or some kind of protein-based thing.
Well, I'm pretty sure they said there was salmonella in the wheat. Yeah, that's why I'm telling Randy to look it up.
Was that someone trying to get in there?
It sure sounded like it, but I couldn't understand them.
Contact.
Go ahead, Russ.
KC1RS, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Man, you got a big signal.
Who's that, me?
Yeah, were you just now on Upper Sideband trying to get in here?
No, I had to take the dog out.
And now I got the amp running. Okay, now give him the bad news, Mark. Tell him how strong my signal is.
Come on, Randy.
Hello, Mary had a little lamb.
I wasn't sure we were doing something here.
Yep, you're still crushing him like a bug.
I've got her throttled way back, Raymond, way back.
And I'm looking at Ray with my beverage. I'm on the east-west beverage, not on the north one.
I told you stop using those stupid beverages. Use the loop when you're making the test.
I'm giving you the advantage.
Oh, that's what you're telling me. I don't. The only way you're going to do it is with the loop. Let me check my tune here. Because my amp was tuned up on 80.
You ain't touching that, Ray. You ain't got enough down there to touch that signal. I'm sorry.
He's getting a little sensitive, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's starting to get a little under the skin.
Well, he sat out there for days and days working on that antenna, so he put a big effort into it. He wanted to get a big result from it. You can't blame him for that.
Oh, no. I mean, he's doing a great job. The antenna's working fabulous, and I told him what to do to make it better. But he's just not going to be able to touch the kind of... I don't know if it has to do with our distance or what the deal is between us, Randy, but we must be that little magical distance that there are very few that touch your signal here.
Well, it's going to just get better. I worked on the antenna yesterday for quite a while, and I got it a lot better than it was, and it's bigger in diameter, and it's also taller. So, and now I've got things laid out for my the next step. Now it's concrete pouring time.
Pretty soon you're going to have to run a wire around the border of New York.
When I look at you on my north-south beverage, you're 20 over 9, and the sun is still up. It hasn't even gone down yet. That's impressive.
Do you hear that, Ray?
I heard.
And Ray is now 5, and you're 20 over 9. Now, Ray, before you get all excited, I'm looking at my north-south beverage, so you're off to the side, so you're going to be reduced, but he's big.
I told you, put it on your loop. Don't use the beverages.
All right, come on, I'm on the loop. Let's go.
Okay, because you're not real strong here right now anyway. You're 10 over 9. Anyway, hello, Mary had a little lamb.
Okay, Mary had a little lamb.
All right, now Randy is just about 1 or 2 little bars above you. You're real close to each other, but Randy still got it.
Right, okay, well, just when you make the test, use the loop.
Signal wars.
I like seeing Ray low and Randy high. I mean, I think I'm going to stay on the beverage that's like that.
I'm hoping that when I get when I put the effort into the other antenna, that it does make a bit of difference. I really think that when I raised up this side of the antenna, I think it made a pretty significant difference. I do. So I think that if I get the whole antenna up in the air, it's got to help out a little bit.
Yeah, turn your audio down. You're all flat topping.
My audio is. Well, okay, I was on AM, so how's that? Mary had a little lamb. How's that?
That's much better.
Yeah, I was seeing similar.
Anytime you guys hear something like that, just say so, because I have a tendency to kind of half-ass, hit the control. And when I get out, I'll leave AM, and I have to turn the audio up on AM to get the thing to perform the way I want, right? So when I come back to sideband, sometimes I forget. A lot of times I'll just, whatever I'm at, I'll just shut it off and go about my business, and I come back in, and I don't take the time to reset things, which I should.
It still sounds awful bassy. Did you turn up the bass since the last time you fixed it?
Oh, I don't think so. Let me take a look here. No, the bass is on negative. I can go down to -5. I mean, that's. I don't ever go that low. I don't ever go that low.
Let me hear it at -4 and -3. And don't tell me which one's which. Just do A and B.
Okay, this is, and maybe I was talking too soft too. I get real close to the mic, but anyway, here's setting A. This is setting A. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. And this would be setting B. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
I think B was better. What do you think, Mark?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was not fully paying attention. I thought that you were on top of things.
Leave B. I like B. You both like B. Okay, that's more bass.
I don't get too critical until I start not being able to understand the person, and I just have to blast them.
It's all about the bass. Well, it's exactly where it was, so I'll just leave it. I'll leave it where it was. Sounds good.
Okay, now where's Bob? That's the next thing I need to know. Where's Bob? Bob, where are you?
But I do appreciate if somebody hears something that, that nobody wants to hear they sound like crap, right? But if you think I sound like crap, just say so. It's probably something I've done wrong.
You do something wrong?
It happens. It's so unusual, right? Mark, you're making me blush.
I haven't kissed butt in a while, so I figured I better get it all in when I can, because there's no lightning. Isn't that odd? On a beautiful summer evening like this, no lightning activity?
Whiskey Golf 2 Echo. Good evening.
I got a question here I'm going to just throw out to the net, and it's probably, it's an opinion type question. I was noticing the color of the blue in the sky today, and to me it looks darker, like a darker blue than it normally does. Has anybody else noticed that change?
Yeah, I agree with you. It was a beautiful, deep, deep, deep blue today. Probably due to the fact that the sun is at a much higher elevation.
Okay, that's not real scientific, Ray, but I'll go with it.
Well, I think that's probably what it is.
Well, the pollution coming from the west probably has a, better contrast toward the blue side. Hello, Carl. Good evening, Toad people. I like those hats, Carl. Well, I didn't realize it until after, but I thought they were all the same, so I just took a picture of that one, and there was like 4 or 5 different ones. But I had to crack up when I saw the tissues sticking out of there. That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah, there was one there to Make America Great Again, and it said the same thing. If you feel offended by this, please take a tissue.
I love it.
Yeah, they had these hats at this car show, and it was, a regular MAGA hat, and underneath it said, if you're offended, please take a tissue. And it had you could pull tissues out of the top of the hat.
I love it.
Always thinking of others.
Saw a lot of nice cars today, too. They had a car show at the Rivers Casino there in Schenectady. And I bet there was over 250 cars. I mean, it was a really good show, and the weather was perfect.
Yeah, we did have beautiful weather today.
I was in Schenectady Saturday.
Wow, you could have stopped by for the Shack tour. What were you doing in Schenectady?
I was at Marist College it's got a T on the end, Marist, for a graduation, our niece's graduation.
I thought that was in Poughkeepsie or something.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not sure. I was just looking at I know it's, maybe it's Poughkeepsie. Marist College?
Yeah, I used to service their standby generators.
Okay, then it's Poughkeepsie.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
It was in some town with a hard-to-pronounce name.
Well, New York got all them weird names like Skin Neck Titty and Poughkeepsie. Oh, my God.
Skinny Atlas.
How about this one? Cunna de Gwinnett.
I don't think there's very many harder to pronounce cities in any state than Pennsylvania has. How about like Mahoning and Katanning and places like that?
Yeah, that's a creek, Cunna de Gwinnett.
Yeah, Maine's got some crazy towns.
I live in Nepod. That's easy to say.
Toad Harbor, baby.
Oh, there is lightning out in Indiana. And it's not quite to Ohio yet, so the band is super short yet.
Oh, I just saw one. I just saw a bolt.
Hey, the weather said something about severe weather coming across Pennsylvania tomorrow, so I don't know if you're in line for some ugliness.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's in Indiana right now, and it's heading due west. It hasn't quite hit Ohio yet. So the minute the band opens up long enough, we're going to start hearing that, and our peace and quiet's going to go bye-bye.
Don't hex us. Hey, Raymond.
Yeah.
So, Bill, W1FEN. I think that is called Bill, W1FEN has an 890 with an RE320, and he was asking me if you could give him the basic setup, so a starting point.
Does he get on the air?
Yeah, but he's not on it. He can't get on 160, but he listens here quite a lot.
Well, see if he's listening now.
Bill, if you're listening now, check in. Email or text me or something.
Yeah, okay, because I'll give him the setup that I'm using right now.
Well, if you give it to me, I can write it down.
Now, those are the QRP settings, right?
All
Yeah,
17 settings. Yeah, you know what? Actually, you want to move 5 KCs up so we can let these guys talk, and we don't want to kill all the good time before the storm sets in.
Yeah,
Oh, we should know the top secret settings.
You could do it here.
Yeah, why change something that happens all the time, Randy? Come on, give me a break.
Do you like this setting?
Who cares?
I'm just trying to be nice, Russ. Just trying to be nice. Go ahead, Ray.
Do you like this setting?
No, it sounds just like you.
Well, hang on. I'll just click right through them real quick so you can, let me see. Hang on. Transmit EQ.
Why is he your friend?
Okay. Tell me which one you like. This is the one I've been using all the time. User 1. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. That's user 1. This is user 2. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. This is user 3. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. And this is the high boost. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. Which one do you like?
Dump 3 and dump high. Yeah, just keep one. Just give me one, that's all. Just give me user 1.
Okay, user 1. Let's see, adjust. Okay, you ready to copy?
How big of a sheet of paper? Am I going to have Maureen help me with half the sheet of paper?
No.
Fire up the printer.
You need. I'll give you the setting across the top, and then I'll give you the setting on the bottom. It's very simple. You just go. Let's see. You'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, you need 18 vertical columns.
Your shoes are going to have to come off, Randy.
And you guys, see, this is why I was trying to take them off of here, so you'd have to get through all this. I knew there was. You serious? You seriously had to count them all, or are you just showing off? Because there's 18 settings.
I thought there was 17. But anyway, look, this will only take 60 seconds. Make a vertical column, and, just really, you don't even need, you just need a column across the top, 18, column across the bottom, 18. And I'm just going to give you the numbers, the frequency across the top, and then the settings across the bottom, and the guy can do it.
Columns go up and down. Sentences go across.
Yeah, I'm all set. Don't worry about my sheet of paper. Just start at 1, and we'll go to 18.
Okay, well, I can't do it that way. Number 1 is 0. Just put this is the frequency, so go across the top. Number 1 is 0. Then the next one's 0.3. The next one is 0.6. The next one is 0.9. The next one is 1.2. Then 1.5, 1.8, 2.1, 2.4, 2.7, 3, 3.3, 3.6, 3.9, 4.2, 4.5, 4.8, and 5.1.
Okay, 5.1. All right. You couldn't go any faster, could you? But I got them. Don't you worry.
Did you get them all in the right columns? 18 across the top?
You don't need columns. And just right underneath him, I'm going to give you the number that he has to put in. Okay, starting with 0 and going right across. Are you ready?
No. Stand by a second. I gotta get another sheet of paper. So just 1 second. Just 1 second. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm setting up my columns.
So all you don't need a column. You don't need a column. You have that row of numbers across the top, and just put this next row of numbers right underneath it, and that's it. That's all you need.
I'll be back in okay, just talk amongst yourselves. Relax.
Okay, you just let the regret flow through you, Randy. Just relax.
Yeah, you don't need a column. You just need the numbers I gave you, and then the number setting right underneath each one, or above each one, however you want it. I'd put it underneath.
Don't think of it as pain, Randy. Think of it as pleasure.
No pain, no gain, right? I got it. I'm still dry. I got writer's cramp here now.
Well, you got to admit, this radio is very sophisticated for a gentleman who owns an ICOM.
Why didn't you just record his audio and send it to the guy?
What good's that going to do?
You could record all your numbers, and then you send them to him.
Yeah, but he can't record the columns.
You don't need the columns. You just need the numbers I gave you and the right number to put underneath it, and then the guy can set it up.
I thought you said that I needed columns, but I got it. I know what you're doing, and I appreciate it, and I know he does too. So I'm at 4.5. Seriously, should have started with a larger piece of paper. 4.8, and then 5.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to start I'm going to start at 0 and just give you the numbers you have to set it at all the way across.
Yeah, 0. Starting with 0.
Okay, ready? 0 is minus 10. Minus 10. 0.3 is minus 4. Minus 4. 0.6 is minus 1. Minus 1. 0.9 is plus 1. Plus 1. 1.2 is plus 3. 1.5 is plus 4. 1.8 is plus 5. 2.1 is plus 6. All the rest are plus 6. So plus 6 from 2.1 is plus 6. Next one's plus 6. Fourth one's plus 6. Plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, up to 4.2. Up to 4.2 is plus 6. And then 4.5, 4.8, and 5.1 are all minus 24.
Okay, got them all.
Okay, that's it. Plain and simple.
The secret code has been revealed.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a very easy radio to work on.
So what about the processor? What about the, all that stuff?
Okay, the processor. The processor is, there's the input level and the output level. Now, this is on soft. This is very important, which you know. This is effect. The effect is soft. And the input level is 70, 70. And the output level is 30. And that's it. You're done.
Mic gain?
Mic gain is what would be 30. That's the output level, 30.
Okay. Okay. All right. Got it.
I want to give a shout out to my buddy Ken out in Michigan. I know you're listening, Ken. This one's for you, baby. Thank you.
Do you think you can reach Michigan?
I do every night.
Hello, Joe.
I think he might need a relay, Randy. Hey, Ken, this is Ray relaying for Mark. Hello.
Actually, to pass on some information for your benefit, Ray, I often get comments from him that you're the one that's hard to hear, but he always hears me.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what. That's pretty hard to believe.
That's selective hearing.
I wasn't going to go there, but, you know.
It's local sunset for some of you folks. Don't forget to bring your flag in.
As long as it's got light underneath of it.
Exactly. If it's illuminated, it can stay.
Yeah, my light has a solar. I've got a really trick flagpole, and it's got a solar light that actually tracks the flag. Okay, the flag is attached to it, so even if the flag changes direction, the light goes with the flag.
And I believe it should be at half-mast for the event.
Only until noon.
Okay.
So, Bob, have you showed up yet?
Hotel November.
Hotel November. Hi, Tim.
Evening, Tim.
Good evening.
You know how many years I heard contesting Whiskey 3 Hotel November. Whiskey 3 Hotel November. It was never hotel, it was hotel.
Roger.
Hey, Randy, speaking of contesting?
Let's do it. Want to do a multi?
No, but remember you were supposed to ask me something? Ask me what I found in my desk drawer.
Hey, Carl, what did you find in your desk drawer?
Well, gee, I was going through my desk drawer the other day, and I found all these big envelopes that were green and white, and they all said ARRL on them. So I opened the darn things up to see what was in there, and do you realize that for September 99, June 99, and January 2000, I was the 50 megahertz winner for high power in Eastern New York. 3 contests in a row.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wait. That's for Eastern New York. What about for the overall contest?
Oh, not the overall contest. And then I found for the ARRL 10-meter contest, I won in 1993 and 1994 for Eastern New York, 10-meter high power.
How many free cups of coffee do you get for that?
Question again, Carl.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
What years on the VHF contest did you take it?
September and June of 99 and January 2000.
Gee, I don't know where I was.
Do you have the overall results of those contests?
Not offhand, because I just found these certificates that they gave me. But I know there's I think I got the one somewhere in a folder there, the one where you won the top dog.
Yeah, look and see, because I won Northern New York every time I was in the contest. So just look and see. I want to know. See, I know for a fact that I won overall on either 6 or 2 meters, and I don't know the contest. I think it was 99 or 98, 99 probably on 2 meters or 6 meters, but I don't remember now what they were.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
WG2E.
Hey, Carl.
Yes.
I see 20 of those on my wall.
I know one thing for sure, Carl. I kicked Tim's butt in every contest.
You did?
Okay, well, I got 5 of them in my desk. I never put them on the wall.
You did, Randy, but you cheated.
I know I cheated. I cheated because I won.
No, you cheated. You had location, you had power.
Yeah, I was at 500 feet. What was your elevation?
700.
I'm a cheating bastard.
So I guess we got to make contesting like NASCAR now?
How high did you go, Carl? What was your highest frequency?
That was just for 6 meters.
Oh, just 6 meters, yeah. I was multi-band. I went to 1296.
Carl, let's do a multi-op. We'll just we'll knock the dust off 2 meter sideband rigs and get some amps going and let's do it.
Yeah, what bands are we going to run?
Just 2 and 6.
Just 2 and 6. That sounds good.
Is there one for 2 and 6? There's separate bands. There's not one for 2 and 6, though. There's one for 6, 2, and 432, I think.
I might work the next 160 contest, which whenever that is. There's that one. It's a 160 only contest. I think I might give that a crack.
Not unless you got a vertical. You're gonna have your quarter wave up event.
I don't know if I will or not, but I know some guys that have verticals, and I worked about 2 hours on my loop, and they worked the entire contest, and I killed them in about 2 hours.
Yeah, you worked all the local stuff. Then what'd you work?
No, don't even start with that crap. I was working I worked more California stations than Ray, what's that guy that was on the contest from the big college over there, the technical college in Massachusetts?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember his name.
MIT, what are you talking about?
Yeah, MIT, the MIT contest station, the multiple operator contest station. I worked about 3 or 4 hours of that contest, and I killed those guys. And the guy came in here, and he says, I was just listening. He goes, I was in awe of what you were doing. He said, every antenna we had, we couldn't hear the things that you were hearing.
I heard a lightning crash. We ain't scared of no lightning.
I tell you what, the loop is a lot better antenna than people give it credit for. I was hearing guys in California, Arizona. I hear them all the time. I talk to them.
January 99, you were the QSO leader, 50 megahertz, 540 Qs.
What about grids?
You were second in multipliers with 116. And you were under W8UC.
How many did he have?
Well, it says 116 for him too. So I don't know how that works.
It was a tie. We tied on multipliers, and how many? I had 504 or 540. What did the second place guy get?
269, I think. I don't have my good glasses. It's hard to read this.
Well, if I multiply 116 times 269 versus 116 times 540, I think I was higher than the second place guy.
You're the king.
Go 6 meters, W2MUR.
Hey, Mike.
That was with those stack 5s that Ray said are no good, by the way, Carl.
Yeah, I got them. I tried them out.
How do you like those?
I liked them, but I compared it against my single 6 element.
And?
Well, they were better, but then I got 2 more, and I was going to have, 4 of them.
3 of them. That's what you want. You don't want 4. You want 3.
How did the 2 5s work compared to the 6? I mean, what was you said? Can you go into more detail?
Yeah, the 2 5s were about 1 unit better.
Well, that's 6 dB.
Yeah, just, the 2 5s were just pointed in one direction, my best direction, which is, I think, southwest. And they beat the single one by 1 unit, and I figured it wasn't worth it. Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
That solved my problem.
What was the single antenna? What brand was it?
Fishcraft.
And what was the 5s?
M squared.
Well, there's the story right there. There's no comparison there. None.
Well, whatever. They were at the same height.
I got a call. I'll be right back.
Pointed in the same direction. The 2 5s were 1 unit better.
Right. Well, then the 2 5s were stacked vertically, right?
One over the other, horizontal plane.
Yeah. Right. Well, Gary down there in he used to live down in Maryland and Delaware, and he had stacked 5s, and he had that stack match thing on him where he could switch from the upper to the lower or both. And I had him switch literally 100 times, and I'm not exaggerating, 100 times, day, night, 4 or 5, 10 times a day, and not once ever ever was the stack better than a single antenna. Never once was the stack better than a single antenna. How's that?
Interesting. Depends on the distance and on, but the stack beat the single antenna every time by 1/s unit.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're comparing a Cushcraft piece of junk to a good antenna. That was the difference, not the stacked, because stacked antennas, when you stack antennas vertically, they are good on a skywave shot because the distance, the angle, you're talking about if you're getting a D coming off the layers, DX-wise, those antennas, when they're steerable, you can move from the upper to the lower to the other one. They will help you. But if you're talking about just long distance scatter, the 2.5 stack side by side work far better.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Sure seems like a lot of extra hardware.
Hey, Mike, you want to go up 5?
Mike's on a phone call.
Mike who?
Ed Mike is on a phone call.
He's on the phone talking to you?
No, he's on a phone call talking to someone else.
Okay, well, I'm missing the point here. Why did we need to know that?
Mike was here, and he said he'd be right back, had a phone call.
If you were actually involved in the conversation that's happening here, you would find out that Tim just called him, and I just let him know that Mike's on a phone call.
Roger. I talked to Mike earlier on the phone, and I had a problem with this tuner. I got this old junk tuner, AR-15, and it's a piece of shit over.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I never had one bit of trouble with that tuner. That thing worked so good, and then Mike got a hold of it and managed to blow it up in 2 seconds, along with his radio and his amplifier, all in the same time.
It had a bad capacitor.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. But I ran 2,500 watts through it, and it didn't blow up.
Now, here's the problem I had. The loop, I'm feeding this loop, both in the loop and in the rhombic configuration. You understand that?
Whatever. Okay, go ahead.
Let me explain it differently. Both as an open loop and a closed loop. Let's do it that way, all right?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the closed loop tuned fine. The open loop, I could not tune it with this tuner, the open loop, all right?
Right. Well, let me ask you this. When you go to the open loop, do you have any idea what the impedance is?
No idea.
Right. Okay. Well, all I can tell you is if the impedance is really high, you'd have to convert the balun to 4-to-1. I had to initially. I was running it with a 4-to-1 balun, and it seemed to work better on my setup with the 4-to-1. We run the 1-to-1. It doesn't have the range to tune that much. But then again, that's the problem with a smaller tuner. They just don't have the range like, say, something like Randy's got.
Hey, I got friends. So Randy gave me this 4-to-1. I hooked the 4-to-1 across it, and now I can tune the closed loop and the open loop using Randy's 4-to-1 over.
Yeah, but where are you putting the 4-to-1? Are you putting it in series with the 1-to-1?
Roger, antenna number 1.
So in other words, you're coming out of the tuner in with coax into the 4-to-1 out to the antenna.
Roger.
Right. Okay. Well, try it for a while. If that's the cure, then convert the balun in there to a 4-to-1. You just have to move a couple of taps around.
How do I know how to do that?
He give you the paperwork with it?
What paperwork?
There should be 3 or 4 pages of paperwork that go with that, and it shows you how to convert the 1-to-1 to 4-to-1.
I guess it's on the web, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, convert it to a 4-to-1. But it works great on 4-to-1 using the balun that Randy gave me.
I think I got a copy of that page here somewhere, Tim, because I think he sent that to me. Let me look and see if I got it.
Didn't I sell you that balun, Tim?
Yeah, of course.
Where is Bob? Bob, have you showed up yet?
Don't forget, he runs a net and before he gets on here.
I know, he's got to give that net up.
Now here's another thing. The rhombic antenna beats the Foursquare out by 2 S units, over.
Yeah, but it's directional, right? What direction does it go in?
You would ask that question. A little bit east of south. Long past Japan during the winter time.
Oh,
Do you have an
okay.
ATR-15, Tim?
Roger, Dodger.
Yeah, I got the page here that tells you how to rewire that.
Can you send it to me?
Your email good?
It's good.
Okay, the one on QRZ, I'll do that.
It's just my call at yahoo.com.
Okay, hhn@yahoo.com. Yeah, give me a minute. I got to scan it up.
I don't have no computer in the shack. I'd have to walk across the street to get it.
Well, whenever. You're not going to do it this very minute.
No, probably not. Yeah, the rhombic is not rotatable. It'd be nice if I could have one in about 3 or 4 different directions. I could. If you fed the corners, you could have 4 different directions, Ray.
Sounds too complicated to me.
Yeah, life's complicated, but we live it anyway.
I like my loop.
You know, if God came down and asked me what I'd want, I'd take a loop at about 200
Actually, a
feet.
Foursquare is a better receiving antenna than that Beverage anyway.
Yeah, I'd like to build a Foursquare. I'd love to have the, have the towers and everything, put those all up. But out in the country, way out in the country, when I was away from, didn't have neighbors that I had to worry about what they thought. I would build up a Foursquare. I think that'd be kind of fun.
You want the 8-circle array. That's the ultimate antenna.
Roger, Dodger. But you could build up a Foursquare with just 8-foot whips and use it for receiving, Randy, over.
8-foot whips?
Mobile whips.
And do what with it?
Just receive only. Just for receiving and reject all the other directions.
Well, I think that would work pretty good. I'll tell you, my mobile antenna, being close to the ground, it works so well, but still in all, it's a better receiving antenna a lot of times than my loop is.
Yeah, you're 50/9 and Ray's only 40. I think you need to put up a loop.
Well, that's one thing I can't do. There's no way I can get a loop up on this piece of property.
So what would it be worth to you? Say Carl and I go over there and we put up a loop. Financially, what would it be worth?
It can't be done. It just simply can't be done. The only way you could do it is if you had a helicopter and you had a roll of wire in the helicopter and you just cranked it down over the tops of the trees and laid it on top of the trees and it wouldn't break when the trees blew around.
WQMUR returning.
There's got to be a way. We could figure out. Carl, how many times have you been told in your life it can't be done? How many times have you had to go fix a plant or a machinery where you were told it couldn't be done?
Well, I'll tell you what. Find some woods that are woods, no fields, no open spots. Go out in the woods and tell me how you're going to put up a loop. Yeah, you could easily put up a loop, but it's only going to be at tops 20 feet above the ground.
Ray, I did it. And listen, don't even start, okay? First of all, you've never had a challenge in your life that had to be overcome, okay? It was you had either a hot sauce or you had to put meatballs in this pot or sausage in that pot. Listen, Carl and I have been doing things our whole lives that just can't be done.
I told you how you do it. You could do it with a helicopter. As long as the wire wouldn't break when the trees blew around, you could get big enough wire and go fly over and just drop it down and have the two ends and connect up to them. That's the only way you're going to put up a loop here.
Listen, I'm calling you out in front of the net, everybody on the net. What's it worth to you financially if say, Carl and I came up there and we put up the most beautiful loop, and it doesn't matter if we use helicopters or jet planes, but what's it worth financially?
Well, I could put up a loop. I keep on telling you, I could put up a loop, but it's only going to be 20 feet above the ground. I mean, could you do it any other way? I mean, you might if you spent the rest of your life doing it, and you got the right tools, and you shot it through the crotch of every tree, and you got the wire to go and go and go. Could it be done? Yeah, but I'm not going to do it because it's going to be a year-long project.
Hey, most of my loop is 20 feet above the ground.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
How's my quadcopter idea sound now?
It's not going to be able to pull the wire up. I mean, you're going to have to pull a wire bundle that probably weighs 50 or 60 pounds.
Hey, Tim, the whole manual is on the way.
Come on, think about it. Are you shooting a wire bundle out of your arrow? No. You're shooting monofilament line, which you string around a tree. You got to think ahead outside the box, Ray.
I don't know who the other weak signals are, but thanks.
I've got drones that can pull wires up there. Not drone. I don't have drones, but I do have a heavy-duty drone that I could get my hands on.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Now, I told you what I thought of Tim, right? And I want you to say on the air, what did I say? I would trust him what?
You would trust him with Maureen.
No, that's not what I said.
You would trust him with your life.
I would trust him with my life. Now, how dare you sell him a screwed-up tuner?
Well, all I can say, it was a beautiful tuner when I gave it to him. It was glistening, and it was beautiful.
Tim, what did
Let's
you do
make
to
tuners great again.
And you know what? I told him, I said, if he wants his money back, I still have his money in the center dash of my car. But don't tell anybody.
Is that where it is?
Okay. Don't tell anybody.
Tomorrow he'll wake up with broken glass outside of his truck.
Hey, what'd you do to your audio there, Randy?
What did I do? I don't know. Listen, the band it's not 9 o'clock yet, so the band's up and down, and audio is always changing.
No, what'd you do to it, really? You're even better than Ray tonight.
What I did was this. This is exactly what I did. Ray says, "What's wrong with your audio? Why is it so bassy? It sounds like you screwed it up." So I go in there and I look at it. I said, "Okay, now this is the setting. It's been on." So he said, "Well, try this. Try that setting." I go back to the original setting. He goes, "Yeah, it's fine." And now you say it sounds better. Maybe I've got a dirty pot. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. You knocked all that basic junk out of it.
So, Tim, you said you solved the issue. What did you do?
Just use Randy's 4-to-1 balance.
Oh yeah, you got the 4-to-1 balance, and that's that puts you in all the way. Well, what I was saying to Tim earlier was if you wanted to switch between the 1-to-1 balance and the 4-to-1 balance in the actual tuner, that's an option. But you need a very heavy-duty switch to do that, and then you have a simple solution of just using gold-plated banana jacks to swap, to put that in to the 4-to-1 balance or go to the 1-to-1 manually.
Yeah, it never dawned on me because I had set it all up 1-to-1 and everything, closed loop, and then when I went to the open loop, it wouldn't work on 1-to-1. It never dawned on me that I could use Randy's balance, and then a little light bulb lit up. Randy's balance, and that solved the problem.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, you have the open. You have my mind just went blank. What type of an open? You don't have the normal loop, right? You have the open-ended, right?
I have a normal loop. I don't know what it is. It's 540 feet, square loop, 90 degrees each side. And then at the far end, the rhombic end, I have a piece of 450 ohm line, which I'm going to change, but for right now, a piece of 450 line, and it's about 10 feet long. And then I have alligator clips where I open and close it. So the loop can either be a closed loop or an open loop. You get the idea?
Right, so that's that and the 1-to-1 balance in that tuner would work perfectly with a closed loop.
It does. It works perfectly with the closed loop, but not the open loop. So the 4-to-1 works good on the closed loop and the open loop. Over.
Nice. Well, if you got that solved for all the bands, just 80 meters is always a concern because you have a higher voltage on that 4-to-1, but
I got you, man. So as long as it's working, we're all happy guys.
I didn't hit all the bands. I only went 160, 80, 40, and 20. I haven't tried the higher bands, but I'm sure it will work up there too, over.
Did you give Mike that same kind of money you gave me for those antennas after about 24 or 48 hours? It just dissolves and goes away?
Roger.
Yeah, I was wondering, man. I think I must have a hole in my floor. They all blew out.
Does it have an oily residue, Mike? That's what I got from him.
Yeah, I think they went to the block washer.
You know, I did have to, though, I told you, get into my wife's grocery money. She doesn't know it yet.
Well, we think she's not listening, like with an SDR or radio or something.
Do you think I should go into my radio account and pay her back?
What would you do, Randy?
Well, we have one account, but what would I do? Yes, I would pay her back. I would have to go mow some lawns and make some extra money and pay her back for sure.
I was going to say WWRD.
But they were closed Saturday and Sunday, Monday for the holiday. I wanted to give Mike cash on the barrelhead. He said, "You don't need to. Give me a check. Randy trusts you. I trust you." I said, "No, I want to give you cash." And the only way I could get it was out of my wife's account, over.
Oh, you have to pay her back. That's all. It's no big deal. I know you guys. She knows you're good for it. Well, you know she's good. Well, I'm not so sure she knows you're good for it, Tim.
No, she doesn't trust me like you do.
Well, she is smarter than I am, for sure, without question.
Tim, what'd you do to your audio?
What are you talking about?
It's all tinny and screwed up.
I don't care. I love it.
Yeah, boy, Randy, you're supposed to be good, Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Rubbing off.
It just sounds like yours, Randy. I mean, you guys are like, sounding good.
I miss my 101D.
You guys give me more static. I'm putting on Ray's microphone here.
No, you sound great. No, it's all good. It's all good, Tim. Step away from the Ray. No, don't do it.
When are you going to get the 101 back?
I don't know. I sent Rob Sherwood a text and an email and a couple emails, and finally I said, look, I just send it back. Do you want ransom or something? I don't know.
I did look at the Sherwood site, and he has the stuff on there after testing things for sale, and he does have 101 on there for sale for $2,900.
I'll buy it if he throws in an SE3.
Well, you better be careful because he said he dropped it on the VFO. The VFO needs to be replaced.
Hey, Tim, by the way, you're 40 over tonight.
Yeah, I was listening to you on the Foursquare. It doesn't do much direction. This is the 40 meter. There's a lot on the 80 and 20, but a little bit. But it is a good receiving antenna. Thanks for the report.
No, he's supposed to send it back the end of the week. He'll be done. He never got to test the second receiver or put it on an antenna yet. So he's doing that, and he'll send it back. So.
You know, there was tornado warnings out there in Colorado yesterday.
And?
Right in his area.
And?
Just saying, I hope everything's okay.
It's insured for $10,000.
Woohoo! Dorothy, come get my radio.
I can buy 2 of them.
Yeah, you could put one out to loan to everybody to test out.
I think I'll buy another 101 and a Kenwood, what's Ray got? 890, and I'll take it to the local ham fest and sell swings with a sledgehammer for $1.
I got a call real quick. I'll be back. W2MUR.
Have you seen the 890? We should all get together and go to HRO and put our paws on all these radios. There's so many beautiful radios out there right now.
50 over on that one.
Running the big brother.
So, Randy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know that bad Randy. Yeah, you know, on that money that you got from Tim, you know, some of that Confederate money is collectible, so it might be worth more than face value.
Oh man, you guys.
It did come with a Confederate flag.
Wait, Tim's got Confederate money?
Roger, Dodger.
Red ink or blue ink?
Blue ink.
He's sitting on it. Don't move. Don't move. We'll be right there.
Roger, Roger.
Did you go have lunch with Devin?
No, I didn't get to Devon's yet, but he's got eye surgery and this and that, but we're going to.
Okay.
You want you guys give me a heads up on that meet and greet there, Tim. I'm about an hour and a half away from him.
Okay, that sounds good. It's going to be a while. I'm busy here too. My daughter's here and my granddaughter's here and great-granddaughters. We got 4 generations under one roof over. It's hard to get away too long.
And you're hiding across the road in a shack, right?
Yeah, well, the baby's gone to bed, and the grandmother of the baby's gone to bed, and the granddaughter's gone, and my wife's reading the book, so I'm free. Hey, Randy, did you ever change a master or a clutch cylinder on a car?
No, but I changed the diaper once.
I have plenty of times.
Pretty easy, but here's the problem. My clutch, when I press it in, it sticks all the way in. It happened over in Amsterdam. I pulled in Amsterdam coming home from meeting Mike at Kennechaharry. I had to have a soda. I had to have potato chips. I go to take off, the dang clutch is stuck all the way to the floor. So I pulled it back out, pumped it back and forth. It's okay. Why does it stick to the floor?
Well, I don't know why it would stick to the floor. You would think that I don't know. Without looking at the car, I don't know. It could be the clutch is gone bad. Does it? Okay, so I don't think it is, because if it was bad, it would stay bad. It didn't cure itself. So you've got something that needs to be lubricated. Something's bent. The clutch pedals needs to be lubricated. Something's going on there that is intermittent, right? So it's not like it's a bad clutch, or maybe not even a bad master cylinder.
Well, if the map maybe a flow on fluid.
You wouldn't be using the master cylinder for the clutch anyway. It would have its own. It would have its own master cylinder.
You change a slave and master cylinder both at the same time. You just don't change one. You change the both. Of course, being the cheap SOB that I am, I said I don't need to change the slave. I just changed the master over.
Well, the slave is the one that would push it. Would be the one that'd be affected there, right?
Roger. They said somehow the slave kicks it back a little bit. You know, if it's leaky or something. But it's intermittent. It doesn't happen all the time, so that's got me wondering.
Yeah, slave cylinders act like that for a while before they blow out completely.
Roger, Roger. Good to know. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna change the slave. They want $100 for them.
Why do they call them slaves?
Of course, I went to the web. I'm getting it off of Amazon for $50.
Because they're operated by the master and they're not the main.
Well, we got to change that. That's right. We can't have no.
Yeah, they're now referred to, Randy, as inconveniently indentured.
Hey, if you find that offensive, Randy, take a tissue.
Oh, that was good timing, Carl.
The worst thing about it, I don't drive it all the time. I can just see the YL getting out there and no clutch, and she gives me a phone call. And luckily, if she can find me, God knows where I am.
Oh, so you skipped the QSTs on the stairs.
Roger, Roger.
KB2's FVP at the top. I'll be back in a second.
N1 DBL. Why is a guy your age still driving a standard transmission?
WG2E.
W2KRY.
I like to be different. Like to be different, right?
Adam Henry, and I still drive a transmission if I had one.
Oh, who's that Weaky Squeaky? Let me go over to a beverage or something. Come back, Weaky Squeaky.
Hey, Dick out there, how you doing?
I hear you fine on the Foursquare. Who is it? You said, how am I doing? But I don't know how I'm doing until I know who you are so I can answer the question.
That's Dick, K1AHA.
K1AHA, K1AHA, W3HA10. Come on in.
I don't think that's his call, Carl.
W3, did I hear W3 in there? HHN.
K1, King Adam Henry.
HHN, I believe that's what it is. Okay, yeah, K1 Adam Henry Adam, you calling me?
Stand by.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Stand by. I'm trying to copy this other station on my beverage.
I wish my ears would work better, but anyway, give that a shot again.
You double.
Holy moly. K1AHA, Whiskey 3, Henry Nancy, go.
W3HHN, I think it is. K1AHA, is that correct?
Roger, Roger. How you copying me? How you copying me? Over.
You're doing a 9 here. You're doing an S9 on my 857 Yazoo radio. Go ahead.
What's your antenna? What's your antenna?
I got a Finifed dipole, Finifed. It's got a 4-to-1 on it, and homemade, and it's about 53 feet of 50 ohm coax.
Well, it should work. Are you using high power?
And it's only 100 watts, and it's going into a YT100 tuner, LVG tuner, automatic, and it goes into 857 Yazoo. It's only 100 watts out.
That explains it. You need a kilowatt at least. Okay, thanks a lot. We're near Albany, New York, Saratoga Springs. You know where Saratoga Springs is? Over?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Albany, New York. Albany, New York. Over.
Oh, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in 60 miles south of Boston. 60 miles south of Boston. The name is Dick, short for Richard. D-I-C-K, Dick, right?
QSL. Okay, fine, Dick. Yeah, somebody was asking me about my clutch. Who was that?
Yeah, K2AYA, Bob here. I had an old MCD when I was and they had hydraulic master and blade cylinders, and the real trick with those things was not properly. I had to go like 2 or 3 days to operate it.
W2MER returning.
To do the mount properly, over.
Yeah, that could be the problem. Yeah, we changed the master and bled it as best we could. It might need more bleeding, over.
And also the flames, it also depends on the type of fluid that you're using, whatever type of vehicle it is, because the brake fluid that you're using.
Yeah, well, the reservoir is just a single reservoir, and it's also the brake fluid reservoir and the clutch reservoir, over.
Yeah, that's something to do with it.
Roger, Roger. Okay. That's good to know. We'll solve the problem. But I went to the website when they said you need to change the slave on it as well.
Yeah, you really should before, you have nice weather now, so you really should before it gets cold.
Roger, Roger. QSL. Thanks a lot.
KD2D, did you ever show up tonight?
Yeah, is that my friend over in Latham? Is that Bob Conray?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to him. I'd like to go over to his house, and I could probably help him on his antenna.
Well, he was supposed to be working on it today, so that's why I'm calling him.
So I was going to take my tower down today, but I couldn't get to it, so it was a beautiful day to do it, so I'll have to do it later this week.
Why are you taking it down?
It's a temporary PVC tower that I don't want up there because there's a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm going to replace that with a composite fiber
spider post that's 40 feet temporarily until I get a metal post, metal freestanding tower.
Roger. Yeah, I got a bunch of this military crap. It's olive drab. I was going to put it up on my Foursquare. I put up one, and you have to guy it, of course. But I was going to go 60 feet, make a Foursquare for 80 meters, but I didn't want to put all those guys out there. They've been a real mess.
Hey, Randy, did you ever find out how much does it cost for those telephone poles?
Way too much money. Thousands of dollars.
Really?
Well, yeah, think about an 80-foot tree. You got to harvest the thing, then soak it in crap and then deliver it. Yeah, it's big money.
How much is the Roan 25?
It's cheap.
Yeah, I was buying them for $25 a section.
Yeah, new ones are about 130, 140 a section now?
I had a bunch. I had enough for 100 feet here.
I should have about 150 feet after the summit, but you can get it pretty inexpensively. And I'll tell you something, if you're just holding it as a corner of a loop, you can probably put up 50, 75 feet of that stuff. Oh, I know you could put up 80 feet of it without even guying it.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know that because I've tilted 80 feet of it, many times with a big hunk of pipe inside it at the top. So with some pretty heavy weight on it, and it handled it with no sweat. So I know if that was stood solid with a loop on it, it would hold it with no sweat.
Mine's 55 feet with a 20-foot pipe at the top. Only the pipe is sunk 5 feet down into that rotor I bought off you. Over.
You have the rotor for me too, the 800?
Roger.
Is it still working?
It's got problems.
So
what's the problem?
We can put Ray on a helium balloon that'll be just enough to pull him up. And we pull up, and we got the helium balloon tied to the ground, so, to a certain height, and then he gets up there, he hooks up where he needs to go on a tree, and then we pull him down, we get him off, and then we move the helium balloon to the other location, we let him go up, he hooks the other one, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, like all my other problems of my own making, poor engineering. So when I hook the rotor up to the controller, the motor to the controller, I did not solder the wire. The guy said, well, just hook them together and tape them up real good. That'll work fine. And then when you move it, you won't have to unsolder or whatever. So I did that. So sometimes the indicator works and sometimes it doesn't. Over.
Yeah, you can't do that, though. Shortcuts always take longer. And that's just a typical shortcut. Never do that.
Well, I did.
Well, if I would have known that, I would have never sold you the rotor, because now you're going to want me to warranty the freaking thing.
Yeah, will you take it back? Give me my money back?
How much did you pay me for it?
I don't know, too much.
Yeah, you son of a gun. Yeah, I'm sure I took you over to Kohl's.
You probably gave it to me.
Yeah, well, that's been done before, for sure. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Time for Monzo. It's 9 o'clock, and we both have to get up real early tomorrow. Maureen's got to work all week long early. She's got the early shift. And, of course, my shift is always early. So you guys have a good night. It's been fun. 73, KB2 ZVP.
Yeah, keep on working. Keep that Social Security coming so I can live.
Yeah, I'm going to be needing it soon myself. Hey, Randy, think about how much you'd want to charge for you and Carl to come down here and tell me that you can't help me. 73, KC1RS.
It's going to be expensive. Carl eats a lot. Yeah.
Hey, Russ, did you get my last email?
Yes, I did. Did you want me to try to model those for you?
I would appreciate it. I might have to give you some more information. You want to go off 5 so I can give it to you?
Oh, you give it to me right here. I just need the height, I think.
50 feet and 50 feet of ladder line over, 60 feet of ladder line over.
You mean for the feeding into the radio, right?
Roger, Roger. And on the rhombic, I've got, let's see, what have I got now on the rhombic? I've got 10 feet. I've got 10 feet coming off the end of the rhombic, and I open and close that over.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I saw that 10 foot there, and I was wondering what the heck that meant. So that clears that up. And the height of that is 50 feet also?
Roger, Roger.
Yeah, let me see what I can do with that. I'll get you like some kind of idea. And those are fairly precise lengths. Are those within a hammer handle?
Roger, Roger. Yeah, I'd like to know how that works on 160 and how it works on 40. That's all I'm interested in right now. In particular, the rhombic. You don't have to worry about the others. The others are just past antennas. That one antenna I got out of antenna physics. Ray got on there and he was jabbering about antenna physics, and I got on there. And that's the extended double ZEP with 2 reflectors over.
Alrighty. I'll poke around, see what kind of info I can get on those, but they look fairly simple. That transmission line, what's the impedance on that? What do you think, about 450?
It's a 450 ohm ladder line, the copper coated steel, the crappy stuff. Randy's going to make me some good stuff.
I got a jig for making the good stuff. Maybe I'll bring that up to the picnic in a couple of weeks. You can knock out a length of that Toad Harbor line wholesale. I can do about 10 feet or 8 or 10 feet at a clip. And it's like a production line. I made, my nephew and I knocked out 175 feet in about an hour and a half.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, we'll just get a bunch of us together at the picnic and make me up some ladder line. But no, he's going to make it up, he and Maureen, in the living room one evening over.
Hey, Russ.
Go ahead.
So, okay, so the jig that you got, what are you doing? Are you setting that in, and then what are you melting the ends, or are you still tie wrapping every other?
Yeah, still doing the tie wrapping. All the jig's doing is spacing it's putting a 1 foot spacing on the insulators.
So I just used a piece of cardboard. These 10 jigs, basically.
Yeah, I can send you a picture if you're interested.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Well, in case I move if I go with a loop, I'm playing around with the idea of maybe going with a full loop. I'll actually get that farther away from the house. So right now I have a 42-foot length of open line, 2-inch spaced. But if I go with a full loop, I'll have to go with a probably close to 100-foot section.
Yeah, I'll send a couple pictures of what it looks like. I forget, there was somebody on the internet that had a YouTube video up, and he had set up a jig similar to it, but I haven't seen his video up there since, so I built my own.
Well, you're sending it out, send one pic to me too, Carl.
What was that, Tim?
I said, while you're sending it out, send me a copy.
Russ,
yeah. I'm half asleep here.
Yeah, I only have Carl doing stuff for me on request there. He's doesn't automatically fulfill things that people were asking of me. Not yet, anyway.
Roger. Yeah, I took a nap between 7 and 8 o'clock tonight.
Carl's on retainer, right? Yeah, let me know what you need. We'll see if we can do it. I saw your tissue hat. That was pretty cool, Carl. Yeah, well, I didn't realize till I looked at the picture and I see that the one hat you can only see half of is something different. And then I realized that all the 4 or 5 that were there all said something different, so I should have took a picture of all of them. But I thought that was kind of funny.
I got the message. Imagine wearing that hat with a tissue on top.
Yeah, well, they had to make America great again, and then they said something else about illegals, and then I forget what else.
Okay, so tell everybody on the net what it said. Okay, so you had a hat.
Okay, imagine the Make America Great Again hat, but underneath it said, if this offends you, please take a tissue. And you could pull tissues out of the top of the hat.
That's great.
Where do I get one?
Oh, I don't know. I saw him at a car show down in Schenectady today.
Yeah, Carl, I'm still waiting for these guys to do that monster jump. I think this may run to 11. I think I'm going to bail on it. The Diesel Brothers.
Yeah, I got solid static here, 10 over 9.
Yeah, do I need 1,000 watt there, Tim?
No, you're good.
It's 100 watts, man, 100 watts.
Well, you're 20 over, you're 10 over.
It's all about the antenna.
The 4 square, you're really coming good.
Yep, just about the aerial.
Or if I go over to my beverage, you're coming good.
When we used to do a lot of DX in Europe, the beverage always worked really well in receiving distances, but, local like this, I'm not sure how they work.
Well, I can't get a beverage up because the ground is too good here. You got to have a poor ground under your beverage to make it work right.
And I think I had 80, 90, 100. I had close to 90. Oh man, I can't remember what it was, but it was 10 feet above the ground, and it was 900 feet. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I like. The ones that I've really been happy with are the 1,000-footers.
Yep, and they're directional, and I set it up to talk to Europe. But anyways, I'll let you guys carry on. I'm going to hit this rack because I got to get up early tomorrow.
But I did have 1,000 feet out, and it didn't work here because the ground was all wet and good conduction. It was pretty good transmit antenna, though. Okay, we'll see you later.
Okay, so my bog, 230-foot, unterminated, not terminated, and it's an S5 baseline, absolutely no static discharges.
Okay, you're receiving me S5 on your bog?
Nope, it's my noise level's S5. You're 10 over on my bog.
Okay. Let's see what you're on the 4 square. Let me go over to you. Go ahead.
W2 MUR in Holland Pat, New York. Radio test. Little Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow.
That's just backwards of what I get here, Mike.
Well, okay, so my bog is S5 on the noise level, and I didn't get what you are. You're perfectly readable. It's like FM. It's like an FM signal. There's no static at all.
Well, my loop is S5, just the general background noise, and my bog is right down at nothing. I mean, the meter never even moves unless somebody's transmitting.
Did you get that, Mike?
You guys doubled a little bit, so I was say it again, Tim.
My background noise is at S3, and when you talk, you're S9.
Very good. And what am I over there, Carl, on the bog?
Just right at S9, but when it's quiet, the S meter is on 0.
Well, that's better than mine.
And so you've got yours oriented east-west, right?
Right, yeah, it's east at the house, and it's going off to the west into the woods, unterminated at the moment.
Mine's going east from the house, not terminated.
Yeah, it sounds like those antennas are really working. Have you tried lifting them off the ground?
I have not. Have you, Carl?
No, but then you would have to make it longer. The whole thing about it being on the ground allows you to keep it short.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. The same with radials. I would try some stakes, about 1 foot off the ground, something like that, and then go to about 300, 350 feet. It'll give you more signal.
Yeah, but I'm going to leave mine because most of it's on my yard, and I can go right over it with the lawnmower.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is it stapled down with lawn staples or something?
No, it just kind of grew into the grass since last winter.
Actually, my coax grew into the grass. I didn't even staple it. I wouldn't believe that the coax would bury itself, but it did.
Yeah, I'm afraid if I want a foot off the ground, that deer would knock it down. Deer and coy dogs.
Yeah, you'd have to go like 10 feet or something.
Yep.
That's what my beverage is, or receiving antennas, I call it. It's about 10 feet, stainless steel wire, and trees can fall on it, and it doesn't even break over it.
So what's your noise level on yours?
On the receive antenna?
Yes.
Holy mackerel. On the receive antenna, it's S9.
Okay. Carl, I don't know what, I mean, whether mine's east or west, it should have a zero noise level like yours. I mean, the one side of it's grounded to 4 8-foot rods, and the other side's not terminated.
Well, I don't know. I can hear a little bit of lightning in there right now, and it might go up to like an S2.
I hear absolutely zero static crashes.
I had the same thing on the loop, on the half-wave loop, 250-foot loop, absolute zero, and then about 5 on receive, something like that.
It sounds like I'm listening to 6 meters.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Why change?
Well, the only thing I'm concerned about is that Carl is at zero noise level, and I'm at an S5 noise level.
Well, maybe you're noisier in your location.
No, I'm very quiet here, and even on my dipole, I'm pretty quiet. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Well, my loop, though, is always very seldom ever below like an S5 or 6 for noise here.
Maybe your loop is canceling out some of the noise.
I don't know, but it works good. I'm happy with it, and for the money I put in, time I put into it, it's just a nice little receive antenna that's pleasant to listen to.
Yeah, it absolutely is pleasant to listen to when I'm on 160. And actually, it works a lot better, and it's a lot quieter on 80 meters.
I found that I've never found it better than my loop on 80.
My
interesting.
Background noise on my transmit antenna is S9, and you guys are peaking at the 40 over 9. So right now, the transmit is better than the receive antenna, but it's not better than the 4 square over. The 4 squares, and it was S5 and S9 on when you guys transmitted.
I gotcha. So, Carl, your bog is positioned where in the loop?
I would say that it's not too far from being centered in the loop where it's fed from my house, and maybe 1/3 towards, not quite in the middle, and then it goes out maybe about 100 and something feet underneath one side of the loop, and then 100 and some feet on beyond that.
Yeah, you may have some actually, if you go 180 degrees out of phase, then you get some noise canceling going on. So there may be some actual noise canceling going on with your loop. Now, my bog is actually perpendicular to my to my 160 dipole. It actually goes right under the center of my dipole. But in other words, it doesn't, the dipole's feed point is right at my radio window. If you look up, 42 feet. And my bog goes from my radio room window directly out 90 degree angle from the center point of the dipole. It goes out 230 feet, not terminated easterly.
Why don't you try rotating it and putting it directly under your dipole?
Yeah, well, then it would be positioned north or south, depending on which I chose.
Yeah, why don't you try that and see if you get the same noise canceling as Carl?
Yeah, that would be easy to do. I just can't go in the westerly direction because the house is in the way.
You're right. He's got to have some coupling between the two antennas. They're so close together in wavelength. That's not even an eighth of a wavelength.
Carl, I bet you if you talked to an antenna engineer, you stumbled upon noise canceling.
Oh, I don't know. Well, it works pretty good, so I'm not complaining. But when it goes under my loop, it's at perpendicular to it.
Yeah, well, but it's mostly under your loop, right?
Well, it just passes under one side in about the middle of the bog.
Gotcha.
Okay, I believe there might be something to the orientation. You could move it around and see if you could get some noise.
So if this is the case, you could actually put bogs, okay, you got one going westerly, and I don't know, you probably would have difficulty going easterly, right?
Yeah, I can't go east. I could go anywhere from north to anywhere between north and west. That's the only directions I can go.
So I can go north, south, or east, not west.
Well, the where I got it, it's convenient. It works well. It's physically good, so I'm going to leave it.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to put it in the north position. I'm going to run another 230 feet in the northerly position, not terminated, and then I'll run that a couple nights, and then I'll try it in the southerly direction and run that a couple nights.
Well, you ought to tell right away if the noise goes down.
Yeah, that's true. Well, very interesting. It got me thinking about this now. I've thinking about putting a loop around, an extra full loop around and right on the ground, and feed it with the open line. And I like to see what the results would be on a receive antenna. I want to see how noisy it is, and I'd like to see how sensitive it is.
Yeah, the point that Carl made. If they're on the ground, they're electrically longer, over.
Right.
So you don't need a full wave loop. A half wave might equal a full wave. I have no idea.
And you know what? When I listen to my local AM station on my bog, it's like literally 30, almost 30. If I listen to it on my dipole, it's on 20 over. If I listen to it on the bog, it's 60 over.
Yeah, same here. The broadcast is way, way louder on my bog than on my loop.
It's amazing. It's only like that. It's only like that in the evening, of course. But I'm hearing stations all over the world. I mean, there's literally thousands of stations in the spectroscope.
WG2E on the bottom.
W2, Caraway.
W2MUR.
Whiskey 3 Hotel November.
KC1RS. Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Did Randy bail out of here?
He did. He has to go to work early.
I got to go to work too, but I'm still here. So everybody familiar with Google?
Oh, yeah, I know Google. Google.
All right. Well, do yourself a favor. There's a women's soccer game a World War II veteran plays the national anthem on a harmonica. He's 96 years old. It's an absolute phenomenal scene. Google WW2 vet plays national anthem. I sent it to Randy and asked him to put it on the Toad Harbor Net Facebook thing, but you got it. It's phenomenal.
I saw it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, what'd you think, Tim?
Yeah, I agree. It's phenomenal. It brought tears to my eyes.
Me too.
We should have more of that. Some of that crap that they have for the Star Spangled Banner, they shouldn't allow.
Agreed.
You know, it's a solemn thing. They shouldn't jazz it up and make it sound stupid.
Yeah, I hate when they do that, all that twirly stuff with their voices instead of just singing it like it was written.
You know, there's a time and place for that, twirly stuff with their voices, but, it's not when they're doing the Star Spangled Banner. It's when they're trying to have fun or make fun of stuff or whatever.
Hey, you know what I noticed on Google today?
Go ahead.
I saw Google. If you look at Google, just type in Google and it's gray. It's not red, white, and blue. It's just gray. Just gray, neutral gray.
Yeah. But if you look below it, there's a folded flag and a triangle. And it says, join us in remembering those who have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Well, guess what? That wasn't there this morning.
Well, guess what? I know you're right, because I saw it too.
I didn't see it. I went into Google, so I went in this morning, so I'll have to go in and have a look at that.
I will guarantee you people were complaining about it. The only way you could actually see anything related to a flag is if you clicked on a link that was under Google, but there was no folded flag. It was just a gray. Now, why would they do that? They do everything in color. Google itself is in color. And then on Memorial Day, they do neutral gray. And I know they're global. They were trying to be politically sensitive to Iran and probably every other country, China, that uses Google. They call me jerk-offs. They hate our country. I wish they'd break them up so they'd teach them a lesson. Yeah, they are way too big. I just thought that was odd. Now, they do it all the time. They make a big deal out of Ramadan and all these weird Asian holidays and stuff. But the most important holidays in the United States, they're basically telling you to stuff it. They don't want your money. They don't want your business. They're just gonna, and they just figure, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna be able to go to anybody else. So, too bad. Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. I don't see any folded flag on it. All I see is a gray Google. I see a little three-dot thing to the right side of it that says Share Doodle. And if you share the doodle, you can share it on Facebook, Twitter, or your mail. That's it. So, and then if you click on Google itself, then it will go to Memorial Day Wikipedia and explains what Memorial Day is. It's just the most thing I've ever seen.
You on your laptop or your cell phone?
I'm on my computer, my Dell computer, on my radio room. Hey, I gotta duck out to eat, guys. KAC1RS.
Okay, I'm going to bed. See you guys mañana. W3HHN. Bye bye.
All right.
See you later.
All right, Tim. 73's to the both. W2MUR.
W2KRY. Night, Tim. Night, Russ.
Okay, bye-bye.
I don't know. Maybe the mobile app is different. Let me check my phone.
No, I'm looking at my laptop.
Yeah, I'm looking at what should be it's very much like a laptop. It's just a big 23-inch screen, but it's touch screen. It's a Dell computer that I bought a couple of years ago now. See, my mobile phone does the same thing.
I just sent you what I see.
Okay, what?
About what? Oh, I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying my mobile does the same exact thing as my laptop or PC here in the radio room.
I get that little flag there under the Google.
Yeah, I just sent you a picture of what I see.
And I just played that harmonica thing. That was really good.
Phenomenal. 96 years old.
Well, if my dad was still around, he'd be 94.
God bless him.
31 years with the Marine Corps.
So he was in WW2?
Yep, he was at Okinawa.
Oh, wow.
And Korea.
So have you ever? I don't appreciate actors or actresses. They're all a bunch of douchebags and nincompoops. So I don't watch movies. But last movie I went to see in the theater was Flags of Our Fathers. Did you ever get to see that?
No, but my dad was a big John Wayne fan.
Yeah, that's when they were conscientious and really actors. Yeah, Flags of Our Fathers was almost completely about, it was, I'm not going to give anything away, but it was about Okinawa.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe I'll have to check it out. I got Amazon Prime there, Fire TV. I bet I can get it on there.
Oh, my God, you absolutely have to check it out. I went to the theater. It was sparsely populated, as you can imagine, because it wasn't too popular with the knee-jerk liberal Democrats. I sat behind 2 or 3 veterans who couldn't leave for about 15, 20 minutes because they were sobbing their eyes out.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Hey guys, I got to run here. I've got a customer issue on my email. Send me a credit card payment, and he wants me to void it because he put it on his corporate card by mistake. So I've got to take care of this guy. 73s, have a good night, and great talking to you all. W2MUR in Holland Pat, New York.
See you later, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
What's the card number?
Yeah. All right, guys, take care.
Yeah, and a little 3-digit on the back, too.
Come on, man. All right, have a good night.
KA2 EXB checking in.
Hey, there's the X-ray beam. How's it going?
Good. Good to be in here this evening. How am I getting out? Okay, we're on low power, about 700.
30 over.
20 over here in Liverpool, New York.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Name is Steamer in Gilderland, New York, Albany County. Fox November 32, KA2, electric X-ray beam.
Yeah, we met you at the diner there when this is Randy, good Randy. W2KRY.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, good to hear you.
Yeah, he was my oscilloscope donor.
That was very generous.
I love that thing, man. There's hardly a day I don't turn that on and do something with it.
And that's why you received it. There's no better person to have that than you.
Well, if you ever need something scoped out, you know who to ask.
Yeah, the band seems in a little better condition tonight. It's been not that good. The last few nights I've been checking it out. There was like a real high noise level, like 20 over. But tonight it seems to be better. I kicked it up a notch to 1100, so I don't know, you might notice the difference. KA2EXB.
Yeah, the lightning is just starting to come up now, but it's been really quiet for the last hour and a half.
Yeah, I checked the weather. It's going to start raining tomorrow morning about between 8 and 9 o'clock. Pretty much all day.
Well, I got the grass cut today, so I can just hang out and enjoy the day in here in the shack.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for bringing me to that car show. And Brian, that was great. Thank you.
No problem. And yeah, I told everybody about the hats, too.
You're right. For the crybabies.
Holy mackerel, you look at the radar, there's storms, strong storms just coming through Chicago, the whole way up to Thunder Bay in Canada.
Well, the weather report today said all that stuff was going to go across the middle of Pennsylvania. It could be ugly tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like it's ugly right now, just going north of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that's where all this static is coming from.
Yeah, I found this website here that's got a really neat lightning map, and it shows the lightning hits, and it's only like 8 seconds delayed. There's a lightning network. It's let me see if I can get the name of it here.
Windy.com.
Blitzortung.org. I guess maybe that's German for lightning.
Well, Blitzkrieg was lightning warfare, so that stands to reason.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second. I got to go in the house, take a pause for the car. A2EXD.
That one for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we went to a really neat car show today at the casino down in Schenectady, and there was probably 250 or more cars. I mean, good stuff, you know, back in the 57 Chevys and all that stuff, and a lot of newer ones too. So it was really nice, beautiful day and all. And the guy they even had a 1914 Hupmobile.
Oh, the Hupmobile? Nice.
And it was like all still rusty, you know. It was like they had the rat rod look, and they had an Isuzu engine in it.
Oh, so it was like a resto mod kind of.
You know, I kind of like that, where the guy takes just a rusty old thing and makes it all drivable, but still looks old, you know.
Yeah, Hupmobiles were like gangsters, man.
And then there was a guy, he had, I don't know, it must have been a 1930s pickup that was all rusty like that, but he had it on the airbag suspension, so when it was parked there, it was sitting right down on the body.
So they made a bunch of different Hupmobile. Was this one like the old Lincoln with the long stretched nose, like the 4-door or the 2-door, the step-through?
No, it was like a truck. It was like Beverly Hillbillies with like the back seat up higher.
Like a truck with a rumble seat or something?
Well, you know, in the Beverly Hillbillies there, where Granny was sitting way up higher than everybody that was in the front, that's what it looked like. I'm sorry, but, you know, I don't know my 1914 Hupmobile models very well.
Oh, it was a 14. I thought you said 34.
No, I think it was like 1914 or something. I could be wrong. And then there was a guy, just recently this year, I see this guy going up and down my street, and he's got a white chopped, I think it's a 34 Chevy Coupe, and that was there at the show, and I wanted to find out the guy. The guy was never with the car, so I never got a chance to talk to him. But it said Delancey, New York, on his entry sticker there, and that's where I live. So this guy goes by me all the time. I'm going to have to find out where he lives.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe people keep these things in the garages and only bring them out once in a while.
Maybe.
Yeah, so, like I was telling Steve earlier today, back when I was interested in all that stuff, back in the 70s, with muscle cars and all, and I had the interest. I didn't have any money. Now that I could probably afford to have some kind of a car like that, I just don't really have the interest now.
Did you see any European stuff there?
Yeah, let me think what there was. I don't know. There was a couple of like those minis there that people had all souped up, which was just kind of cool. And what else did they have? I can't remember offhand, but they had Corvairs, and it was kind of neat.
Well, back in the day, my dad had a 1954 Jaguar XK140 drop-head coupe that he wishes he never got rid of. He traded it for a, what the hell was it? I think it was a 50-something Sport Fury. And that was hell on wheels. But I've always thought about trying to find obviously I can't afford $200,000. I wouldn't want a mint show car condition, but if I could get him back in even in the passenger seat to take a ride in a Jag XK140, that would make his day, I bet.
Well, when I was a kid, my dad bought a Carmen Ghia, a VW, and that was a neat little thing. I wish I had that today.
Yeah, my buddy had one growing up, and there's right down the street here, there's somebody that's got one in their driveway every day.
Yeah, he always drove Volkswagens. He had the Carmen Ghia, and then he drove Bugs for many, many years. Just the regular the Beetles, and I always kind of wondered if he lived long enough, if he'd be driving the ones they have now,
Yeah, I kind of doubt it. My grandfather had a bunch of Beetles. He loved them because they would go anywhere and easy to work on. Had a garage downtown, Red's VW service down in Indiana, PA. We always used to go stop at, get a little tune-up or whatever. So I started driving VWs. I had a couple Beetles, a couple Rabbits, a couple Jettas, I raced the VW, what the hell was it? Not a GTI. Yeah, GTI. GLI is the Jetta. GTI is the Golf.
Yeah, well, I had a 71 Fastback that I bought off my dad, and then I had a 76 Scirocco that I bought new, and I loved that car. I had more darn fun in that thing, stomping that thing around town. But my dad, he always liked the Bugs because he said that he could sit in there with his hat on and not have it hit the ceiling. WG2E.
That's awesome. Yep, I know what he means. Yeah, those Scirocco's are nice. Hey, did you ever get to tool around in the Corrado when it came out?
No.
Oh my God, that thing was like a rape. You thought the Scirocco was a sweet little ride. You should have got in one of those Corrados, V6. It was about the same size, maybe a little tighter packed than a Scirocco, but the Corrado had the V6. Holy, I think it was close to 150 horsepower.
No, I never did that. I got a friend of mine here that I went to high school with, and he lives up in Glens Falls, and he's got several car dealerships. He's got a Hyundai and a Kia, and he's got a Volkswagen one, and he's got some old Volkswagens. He's got a couple of those Volkswagen things. You remember those?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we remember them.
Well, here's an interesting thing, too, is my Scirocco I actually sold to the electric X-ray beam, so he drove it around for a while.
What did he do with it?
Oh, I think he sold it to some kid, and the kid crashed it.
Not a surprise there. Yeah, you should look up a Corrado.
Yeah, so it's that was my last VW. I haven't had one since. I had several Fords. I had a Bronco 2 and a Ranger pickup, and now I've been driving around Subarus, and I got a Dakota.
Well, it takes all kinds.
Well, maybe I'll bring the Dakota down to the picnic, because I guess I'm going to bring a charcoal grill, and I don't know, maybe I'll bring my generator and a microwave in case anybody wants to warm something up.
There you go.
You'll be coming, right?
I really want to, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen.
I'll make it happen.
Well, the folks are moving back from the West Coast. Actually, they're getting on a plane in a couple hours, moving back to Indiana County, of all places. So I haven't really kept up with them for the last 10 years. So I'm thinking if it's Father's Day and he's 300 miles away instead of 3,000, I might end up down there instead.
Okay, and Indiana County would be where?
Indiana, PA. It's, I don't know, 45 miles northeast of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Now, who was it? Was it you or Russ that used to live down near Pittsburgh?
Well, I think both of us. I think I heard him say something about living down that way, but I grew up in Indiana, PA.
Okay, well, I grew up in Beaver Falls, and then my dad taught at the University of Pittsburgh, and I lived in a suburb there called Forest Hills.
Yeah, we talked about that before. You were a little bit closer than where I grew up, but yeah, same idea.
Well, I was there when all the steel mills were doing their things, and I can remember, on a nice summer night, the low clouds would all be lit up red from the open hearth furnaces up at the Edgar Thompson Works.
Oh, yeah. I can remember go to Pittsburgh to visit relatives. Driving down along the river there, I can still smell it. If I close my eyes and think real hard, I can still smell the coke and all the fumes going on there.
Yep, that would have been Ohio River Boulevard.
What a stink, huh?
Well, when I was there, we lived, out at a city per se, and we used to come in and we'd go through the Squirrel Hill tunnels. And the air would be pretty good when you'd go through into the tunnel, but when you'd come out, the sky would just be orange all around Pittsburgh from all that smoke and everything from the mills. And that's the way I always remembered it. And, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, my mom and I went back there because she had a thing to go to in Beaver Falls where they were dedicating a press box in my grandfather's name at Geneva College in Beaver Falls. So we went and visited some old friends in Pittsburgh and everything, and we stayed right in town. And I was absolutely amazed how clean it was now. I mean, there wasn't even a cigarette butt in the gutter. I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't been down there for 10 years or so, but I couldn't believe the way they cleaned the place up. It was down along the river. You can't even imagine that there used to be all these barges and all that smoke right next there. And yeah, like you said, it's spotless. It's really a testament to what they're doing there.
Well, we went and did all our favorite things that we used to like to do when we were kids. We went to Phipps Conservatory and looked at all the plants, and we went in the Carnegie Museum and saw all the dinosaurs and everything, and even took a ride up the Washington Incline.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Phipps, yeah. What was the other? Was it Phipps where all the plants and that? No, wasn't there some botanical gardens somewhere around there?
Yeah, Phipps Conservatory.
Okay, that was it then. Yep. And did you make it to Buell Planetarium?
Well, I used to love that place when I was a kid. As a matter of fact, when I was in grade school, I took summer courses there. Math and telescope making and electrical circuits and all kinds of stuff. That was a cool place. But it's not there anymore. They moved it over to what they call the Carnegie Science Center, and it's right on the river, where right on the point there where the three rivers come together. And but the planetarium is still in there, and we went in to see that too. And I don't know, I guess it's kind of weird. The stuff that really impressed you as a kid, sort of isn't quite as shiny when you're an adult. But we went in there and we saw the planetarium and that big Tesla coil. We saw that thing go off, and it was kind of nostalgic.
I'm back.
Do you remember in the Buell Planetarium that Foucault pendulum that swung back and forth and knocked over the little pegs every minute?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I used to think that was pretty cool, too. And welcome back, Steve.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you're listening. KA2EXA, Steve in Albany.
W2 KRY at the top.
And WG2E. Yeah, Randy and I were just reminiscing about our childhood, and it turned out that it was in the same town.
Really? State College?
Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Yeah, and I used to go, my dad taught at the university, so we used to go all the way up to the hill and watch the Pitt Panthers play football up there. And I used to see the Pittsburgh Pirates play at Forbes Field, believe it or not. And that's gone.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Well, I remember there, was it 1960, 61, somewhere around there, where the Pirates won the World Series. I remember that. And I had a signed baseball from that era with, like, Bill Mazeroski and Dick Groat and Yogi Berra. And, of course, being a stupid kid as I was, I played with it.
Do you still have it?
No, I played ball with it.
Carl, are you oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you see the latest news concerning Dick Groat?
No, all I know is he died many, many years ago.
No, he just passed recently, I believe, and well, or did he? There was just a recent sighting of Jack Lambert, and he was shaking hands with Dick Groat. So either Dick Groat just passed, or he's still alive, and they were at some kind of signing.
Oh, I don't know. Let me ask the Google.
because Jack Lambert pretty much keeps to himself these days, and it was big news that they had a rare sighting of Jack Lambert, and they showed him shaking hands with Dick Groat. I thought it was fairly recent, but maybe it was, you know how those things come up from the past.
Yeah, he's 88. He's still around.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was born in Wilkinsburg.
There you go.
So if he's been around that long, that probably makes that baseball pretty valuable.
Yeah, but I was a kid and didn't know any better then, and I, we played baseball with it.
So his name got worn off and you lost it?
Oh, yeah, I probably hit the cover off that darn thing.
Yeah, I know little to nothing about baseball, so I couldn't imagine how much the thing might be worth.
Well, I lost interest in sports once I moved out of Pittsburgh because, if you have a home team, it's different than somewhere else, We used to go to the Civic Arena and watch the Pittsburgh Penguins play hockey.
Absolutely. Hey, were you over there when they opened the roof?
Yeah, I saw the Barnum and Bailey Circus in there.
Yeah, I used to watch the Penguins play and seen a few concerts in my day back there.
Oh, well, I missed all that. And then they had... what was it, Three Rivers Stadium or something? I never was in there, and that came and went, and I never was in it once. And now, what is it, Heinz Field?
Well, yeah, that's where I grew up. I'm a little bit younger than you, so that's where I watched my Pittsburgh Pirates win a couple World Series out of Three Rivers Stadium, and the where Three Rivers is right now is the parking lot for both, I think it's the parking lot for both PNC Park and for the Heinz Field.
Yeah, well, we took a ride around downtown. We took a ride on that duck boat that goes out on the river. So you get in there and they cruise you all around town and they, pointed out things, which, was kind of an interest to me because I remembered some of the stuff, but, everything was all different. Then we went out and rode around in the river, which was kind of cool.
I guess that would be neat. I don't know. You got to watch those kind of things, though. Apparently, sometimes they don't work so well. I looked up Dick Groat autographed baseball, and you'll be happy to know that they only range from $35 to $108. So you didn't lose too much.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't look it up just because I just want to slap myself.
That's what you got the X-ray beam for. He can slap you.
Yeah, by the way, you're 30 over and Carl's 40 over.
Yeah, it's a good night, except for the static, I think.
Yeah, it's starting to come up now, the lightning. There wasn't any at all earlier.
Yeah, all that junk's coming this way. Well, with that being said, it's a school night. I got to get up at 4:30 or 5 and do my thing. So it's been a pleasure talking to you both. Hope you had a memorable Memorial Day, and we will talk to you on the morrow.
Okay, yeah. Well, and we'll come up with something, some other things that we have in common there. 7-3 from WG2E.
You're okay, 7-3 is good fun. KA2EXP.
Night, Steve. Night, Carl. 7-3s.
Yeah, so that's another day we'll stand in infamy, Carl. The car show on Memorial Day 2019 at the Rivers Casino.
Yeah, maybe we can do it again next year.
the world is still here.
Oh, it'll be here.
Get an EMP attack.
Well, you never know. Hey, I think I'm going to get out of here, too. I'm going to go upstairs and have myself a bit of a snack or something. And maybe we'll talk to you tomorrow or something.
Okay, very good. It's going to rain all day. It looks like it's being starting around, going to be starting about between 8 and 9 o'clock. And pretty much going to rain all day from what I can tell, till 9 o'clock at night. And then Wednesday it's going to be clear again. So tomorrow looks pretty much like, from what I can tell by the precipitation forecast, a washout. We're not sure how much we're getting, but it's showing that it's pretty much wherever coming over here is going to be here all day. So good talking with you. Thanks again for the ride. We'll stay 7 trees, and God willing, we'll be here tomorrow night. KA2 EXP.
Okay. Good night. We'll see you later. WG2E.
This is KA2EXB, Steve in Albany. And anybody else left out there want a signal report or whatever? Once again, the name is Steve. We're in Albany, New York. That's November 3-2. Kilo Alpha 2, the electric X-ray beam, KA2EXB listening.
Kilo Alpha 3, Sierra Victor Kilo.
Kilo Alpha 3, Sierra Victor Kilo. SVK, okay, very good. I'm hearing you. I'll give you a report on it next time around, over.
Okay, real good. Yeah, I just heard you all in there earlier. I was on the computer and just monitoring and seeing, reminiscing on what you all were talking about. Very, very interesting. Good.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I didn't get your name, but name here is Steve. We're in Albany, New York. You're 5.9 plus 10 dB here. So we're hearing you pretty good. Right now we're running, let's see, the halfway dipole at about 60 feet, inverted V. Looks to be about 1,000 to 1,100 from the Clippard NL, over.
Very good, very good. I don't have anything quite that nice. I'm just running the IC 7300 and see about 800 watts or so. That's about it. Into a very low 160 dipole. Good.
Okay, what was the name?
Chris, I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh, okay, Chris. Yeah, very good. Yeah, 5.9 solid plus 10. So you're doing well, you know. And so we got no complaints. We're hearing you good. So yeah, we went to that car show today. It was nice. And I told my son when we went there, we brought my son there. He's 41. And I said, well, I can remember when we went through this originally. Back in 1969, you know, they had the Roadrunners and the GTOs and stuff like that, the Mustangs, Shelby Cobras, all of that. I can remember when they first came out. I said, it's like, here we are 50 years later, and pretty much everybody's stuck back there, over.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I like old cars. I like watching Bear Jackson and all that. And I have an old car we've had for about 41 years. Still have it. I got it from my wife when she was in high school, and still have the thing. Can you believe that? 41 years. It's Mark Donahue. Good.
Okay, very good. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I was always a car enthusiast. Probably one of my favorite cars. I had a 71 Chevelle. 71 Chevelle coupe, and I had the 350 engine, and I had the Thrush outsider side pipes. I don't know if you remember the long Thrush outsider side pipes that come out and back the front wheel. They run down the rocker panel there, and they sort of got like a shield over the top. They're all chrome. And boy, I love the sound of them things when you were pull the thing back down into it was an automatic. And I had the transmission changed after I wiped out the Turbo 350. I had it changed into a Hydra 400, and which is a B&M shift kit. And I used to love going through the tunnel and pulling that thing back in second gear and listen to those side pipes, over.
Oh, yeah, I know something about I used to have the exhaust on my old Javelin. It was a 72 Javelin. It was a nice old car. I wouldn't say it's the fastest thing on the block. I only had 360 in it, but it did well. And I had the old exhaust, some some thrush mufflers, and came out right between the rear wheels and the body of the car, and it came straight out the side. So it gave you the same effect. And I used to have after that about when a van Crave came around, I had a customized van. Candy apple blue with candy apple flames and a custom interior and everything. We had a bunch of guys put it together. Place where I worked at, AMC, painted it, and I customized the inside. That was a fun van. That was a party van. We had an absolute blast. And it was a 76 Dodge van. Wonderful. And it had the side pipes, and it had the big old balloon tires on it and everything. It was a lot of fun. But I had it for about 4.5 years, got tired of it and sold it. But it was a fun truck at the time. Okay, Tristic, back to you.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yes, Dodge van. Yeah, I remember that. They were real popular. Yeah, especially at the drive-in. And I after got into motorcycles and had some Harley Davidsons and had a Honda 750. Yeah, 74 K4 750. That was a beautiful bike. Just recently I sold my Suzuki out of Suzuki DRZ 400, which is a twin dual sport, and which is nice because you go anywhere you want on trails or on the road, and you didn't need a trailer to go anywhere. And I probably after the Chevelle, we purchased we got bought used a 74 Triumph TR6. I love that car. Ended up wrecking it, but we fixed it all up before we wrecked it. And I had the hardtop for it, and everything had, from what I remember, 15-inch wheels on it. Small little car, TR6 made by British Leyland, and a wood dashboard. And we enjoyed the heck out of that car for about 5 or 6 years until we totaled it out. The car had better engine than suspension, turns out. And lost it on a turn, and that ended that. Fortunately, I was able to walk away from it. But yeah, the Triumph TR6, that was a fun car. And now I'm driving a old man's car, driving the Dodge Caravan, Grand Caravan. Got the 9-passenger, 8-passenger, whatever it is, 3, 6. I guess you could fit 9 if you wanted. 9-passenger, bringing people back and forth to church and hauling the family around. That seems to be what we're using now. So, okay, very good. Good hearing you in there. You're probably holding up at 5.9 plus 10. Hopefully, my 1100, looks to be about 1,000 watts now, is keeping my signal up there. Looks like everything seems to be working. So, we'll pass it back to you. K82EXP.
Okay, on K3SP. The signal's doing good. You're right about just about 9 to a plus 10. It's sort of swinging in between. So the band's a little flaky. But yeah, I heard y'all talking about the Carnegie. Yeah, I remember at the gas station I worked at, they worked on all the Volkswagens. And the Carnegie was the poor man's Porsche. But I tell you, it looked just like a Porsche. It was so hard to tell the difference, that particular model. Look at the old Carnegie and the shape of that body with the Volkswagen engine in it. And it was only, one of them had 45 horsepower and the other one had about 60. Not much difference, really. They're very, very close to being the same thing. And I tell you, those were some crazy days. And I was going to mention, now I'm getting into electric cars. I have a Nissan Leaf and I have a Tesla Model 3. So I'm running around in electric cars now. I'm retired, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper. I'm going to tell you that. Not buying it ain't cheap, but as far as driving it, no maintenance and very little to charge it up. So I'm very happy with that. So there's my new toys. Yeah, along with new radios I got when I retired too. So I was at Amos Radio for a while, for about 14 years. I got back into it only the last couple of years. And I ended up having to buy all new stuff. I didn't even have an HD, nothing. Started from scratch again. Back to you, K3STK.
Okay, very good. Yeah. It was good talking to you this evening. The band seems to be fading a little bit. You went from a 5.9 plus 10 down to a 5.9 now. So, and the static level seems to be coming up. So, yeah, Roger, on the four-man force, Carbon Gia, and everything the way it used to be. And, we enjoy talking with you. I'm going to sun showed up here. Going to take a pause for the cause. It's been fun talking with you. And we'll be happy to be listening in the background. I don't know if we're coming back or not, but we'll probably listen out. So I'll leave it back to you to tie the, Chris, to tie the ribbons on it, and we'll go back into the woodwork for a while. This is KA2EXE, Steve in Albany.
Real good, Steve. I'm located here in Damascus, Maryland, and so that's about 25 miles north of Washington, D.C. And with that, I'll say 7-3, and I'll just be hanging out for a little bit, maybe monitor, maybe someone else will be out there and might spin the dial on 160 to see who else is out there also. So I'll hang out for a little bit, see if anything comes up. So with that, 7-3, it's definitely nice talking to you, Steve. I'll have to talk to you again. KA3SVK.
Okay, 7-3.
The 914 was the poor man's Porsche. That was actually built by Volkswagen AG.
Yeah, the Carmen Ghia looked like that particular one, the Porsche that had the same body style as the Carmen Ghia. The engines were interchangeable. There was only about 15, 20 horsepower difference, but I remember those cars. We worked on them at a Sitka. We worked on Volkswagens, pulled the engines out. Pretty interesting. A few bolts and the engine came right out the bottom, no problem. No fuss, no muss.
Yeah, but the VW made the Porsche 914, and that was the actual poor man's Porsche. They never pretended like that Ghia was anything more than a bug with different fenders on it.
There you go. The old Volkswagens, I tell you. I know a lot of guys that took the Porsche motors and shoved them in their little books, and they went down the track like that, and the suckers are pretty quick. One guy I worked with, he balanced and blueprinted that little sucker and tuned it up as best he could. He did about a 14, 2.25 mile in that old bug set. That was pretty good.
Yeah, they had to modify the daylights out of them. I've seen guys that drop bug bodies onto like Ford Pinto frames and put V8s in them. People are just insane.
Yeah, you don't want to go too fast in the Volkswagen. Those fenders are, they'll catch that air and they'll just lift right up.
Yeah, I got to run. I got bedtime here, so making too much noise for the wife. So anyway, have a good one. KC1RS. Just I heard you guys talking about VWs. I used to work on them a long time ago.
I didn't work on them that much, but I was around them a lot for the guys that did work on them, and I used to help them whenever I could, because I was still wet behind the ears. So it was a lot of fun. So with that, I'll say 7-3, and I'll be hanging out for a while. KA3STK.
73.